You are listening to.
You're listening to.
You're listening to.
You're listening to Noel Johnson. Noel Johnson.
Noel Johnson
On Lockdown.
Lockdown.
Lockdown Radio.
Radio. Lockdown Radio.
Live today. Lockdown Radio.
Madonna! And that wraps up the Power Play threesome of the day. That was Hung Up, and before that we heard Ray of Light, and starting it all off was Like a Virgin right here on Lockdown Radio. And tomorrow, not tomorrow, Monday we'll do it again. So if you've got any suggestions on which artist we should feature on Monday, you can drop me a WhatsApp on 064 134 0020, or alternatively, you can just leave me a comment in the comments section. Now, we're talking about the burning topic, which is, should SAA get another bailout? What's important to note is that we as a country do need a national carrier, but the SA government has now declined to bail SAA out at the moment. The government's in a tricky situation. They're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. And they will be making some decisions and thinking about it this weekend. So I put it out to you, and the question was, should SAA get another bailout? And receiving a message from Cheryl Ann Kirsten Murrigan, and she reckons that SAA should not receive a bailout. Government needs to help ordinary South African citizens instead, especially the unemployed. And on voice note, we took a couple as well.
Hi there everyone, it's Sarah from Pinetown. So this question particularly deals with SAA, but I feel the same mentality needs to be applied across the board. SAA should not be bailed out. These large South African entities should be put under the same conditions as other companies in South Africa. They should be made to take out a loan, use their assets as collateral, so it can be auctioned off to settle some of the debts if they don't pay these loans back. Companies are way too comfortable being bailed out by the government and show no care for the repercussions of not being able to pay the bailouts because they know they'll be bailed out again. Higher level of accountability needs to be shown, and it can't come if we keep bailing these companies and not hold their senior management for mismanagement of funds. So that would be a no from me.
Yes, it is important that we have a national carrier, which SAA currently is. However, the biggest problem with SAA is that it is a government-run business, and it is currently being run most inefficiently. What I would suggest is hand it over to private enterprise. If this happens, staff numbers will be reduced, overinflated salaries will be a thing of the past, and the biggest thing is that there will be accountability. If someone cocks up, they will be held accountable for it. So no, don't bail them out. Hand it over to private industry and let it be run properly. Bob the legend.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, and I reckon what you're saying, a lot of it is true, but we're looking a bit beyond the lockdown now. We're looking at solutions post-lockdown. We can go privatization. We can go and look at a lot of things like that. But currently, in the situation that we're in at the moment, and SAA Express is already in business administration, and they can't afford to pay their staff at the moment, as well as SAA are having a major problem with it when it comes to paying their staff at the moment. And I think that's what the big issue here is at the moment. That's why they desperately need a bailout, is because they've got staff that are working for them that are now stuck in lockdown, that also can't buy food and stuff like that, and they can't pay that staff at the moment. So the question is, do they get another bailout? A lot of people are saying no because of the history and how many times they've already been bailed out, and I totally agree. Something needs to be done with SAA regarding the management and the way they've been run in the past. But you got to ask yourself the question, the thousands of people that work for those companies at the moment that have not got food, isn't it the government's responsibility now to maybe not bail SAA out, but maybe bail SAA's employees out? Now there's a thought. Let's think on that for a change. Right, coming up after the news, I'm going to be talking to Bryce McMillan, who was in that show that we broadcast live from the ship last night. and he's going to tell us what ship life's all about.
You are listening to
You're listening to
Noel Johnson.
Noel Johnson
Noel Johnson
on Lockdown Radio.
Lockdown Radio.
Live today.